Well, that was all right, wasn't it? Arsenal 3, Nottingham Forest 0. Another 3 points on the board. Arsenal bouncing back after that defeat at Anfield last time out. It's another clean sheet, 3 and 4. It's another goal for Viktor Gyökeres, also 3 and 4. So, yeah, look, there's lots to be pleased about today. We're obviously going to analyse the game in a lot more depth when we come to recording the main podcast on Sunday morning. But I thought it was so obvious today what the difference was, because the performance for me was really, really enjoyable. There were moments of flair, there were moments of really great tempo, there was a zip about our game at certain points. You know, there were times where the game went into a little bit of a lull, you have to admit that, but I thought just having that extra bit of flair in the final third really made the difference, and it kind of showed us and shone a light on what I think Arsenal have been missing for such a long time. Noni Madueke was outstanding, and listen, I'll hold my hands up. When Arsenal were linked with him, when we heard that Arsenal were willing to do a deal worth in excess of £50 million for Noni Madueke, I panicked. We hadn't signed Viktor Gyökeres at the time, we hadn't signed Eberechi Eze at the time, and it felt like this was the signing that Arsenal were going really big on, and the one that Arsenal were going to put all their kind of faith in. And he's come in, and obviously with Bukayo Saka injured, he's had an opportunity to play in what is definitely his preferred position out on that right hand side. But since he's come into the team, he's shown us exactly what we're missing: a directness, an ability to beat his man, to get to the byline. He's been really intelligent in the way that he's combined with other players around him. He uses the overlapping runs from the fullback really, really well. We've seen that time and time again. We saw that many times today. And I thought for me, he was the man of the match. I know Martin Zubimendi got 2 goals, and we'll come on to talk about that in a second. But for me, there's only one man of the match today, and it was Noni Madueke. Eberechi Eze was a little bit quieter than Madueke, but we know that Arsenal are a right-leaning team. So what happens is that natural inclination that we have to keep going down that side is probably going to take a little bit of work to kind of get us out of that mode and to use the left side a little bit more. But my God, when we use the left side, have we got a capable player. Brilliant flashes from him as well. Eze, his ability to skip past people, his dribbling power on full show, and the assist for Viktor Gyökeres' goal was just brilliant, wasn't he? There was a doubt about whether he was on or offside, but once he beats the man and he delivers the cross in, it's on a plate for Viktor Gyökeres, who's in the right place at the right time. Is exactly what we brought him to the club to do and to be. And at times he wasn't as involved as you'd like him to be, but he did what he's on the pitch to do, and 3 goals in 4 games means that when people push back, and I saw Troy Deeney saying on TalkSport that his teammates don't trust him. I'm sorry, I respect the opinion of former pros, but that is a complete and utter load of nonsense. He was brilliant today when it mattered. He popped up in the right place at the right time. Some of his combination play as well with his teammates was much better than it has been. Still a work in progress, but we saw 3 or 4 occasions where he sort of dropped deep and laid the ball off left or right first time. That tells me that understanding between him and those around him is developing, it's forming, it's getting better, it's getting stronger. So I was really, really happy with what we got from him as well. But Martin Zubimendi, 2 goals on the day. Who saw that coming? I mean, the first one is just a sumptuous volley, isn't it? Absolutely stunning effort from the edge of the box. I thought initially that it took a bit of a deflection off of Murillo. I haven't had a chance to see it back again, but I do wonder if it was the swerve on the ball that just caught the goalkeeper out. He was looking through a crowd scene, always difficult for the goalkeeper in those situations, but the technique was unbelievable. You know, going into the game, you looked at the midfield, and it wasn't the midfield that I was expecting, if I'm being honest. I didn't think that Declan Rice would be left out, but he was. Mikel Merino's been in fine form. I thought Mikel Merino played well at Anfield. He obviously played brilliantly for Spain during the international break, contributing goals. He's in great form. If Declan needed a breather and needed a bit of a break, then bringing Mikel Merino in was absolutely fine. And again, that shows the strength in depth that Arsenal have now. You looked at that bench today that Arsenal had, right? And forget the first 11 for a minute. Dowman, young player but super talented. Nkapie, Lewis Skelly, Martinelli, Nwaneri, Rice, Trossard and White. And we're still without Havertz, we're still without Saliba, we're still without Saka. So to be able to field that kind of team and that kind of bench, even without those players, it really does highlight what Arsenal are building here. And we got to give credit to the recruitment guys as well, because this was a great day for them. You know, Eze, brilliant. Madueke, brilliant. Gyökeres, brilliant. Zubimendi, brilliant. all summer signings, all came in over the course of the off-season and have all had a massive impact on the game today. So yeah, really, really good day all round. Another clean sheet showing that defensive solidity that's become a real hallmark of this Arsenal side. I did feel in the second half there were a couple of sloppy moments. There was that time where Chris Wood sort of chested it towards goal, came off the crossbar, and in dealing with the rebound there was a little bit of miscommunication and confusion, and that provided a chance for Hudson-Odoi, but Mosquera recovered brilliantly to deny him. And Calafiori, I think, was a little bit slack defensively in the second half before he came off, but again, you know, he contributed in an attacking sense. That pass to release Eze down the left to tee up Arsenal's second goal was just truly sensational. So there's lots to be pleased about, and the great thing about a 12:30 kickoff is that when you win it, you can now go away, you can sit down, you can put your feet up, you can enjoy the rest of the weekend's football without being too stressed about any of the outcomes. But yeah, just kind of my overall takeaway, overriding takeaway today is what a difference a bit of flair can make, and what a difference a bit more tempo can add. You know, playing the ball first time, round corners, taking people on, getting to the bylines, all of these things are really, really important. And we haven't seen enough of that from Arsenal, I don't think, maybe over the course of the last year, and it's gone a little bit stale in attack. It was a completely new look attack today, with Eze on the left, Madueke on the right, Gyökeres through the middle. We lost Odegaard early on in the game as well, and we had to bring Ranieri on. So those four wouldn't have played together much, but I thought the connection and the cohesion between them was really, really positive. Just on the Odegaard thing, because that for me is the only negative to today's game. It's the only downside, you know. It's the only thing that we're ruining a little bit after today's fixture. But he obviously had that shoulder injury, had to miss the game against Anfield, at least from the start. He did come on late on in that game, then went away on international duty and played twice, but picked up some sort of issue again quite early on in this game today. Went down initially, went off, had some treatment, came back on, and he just couldn't continue. That's the only negative. But it's mad, because like we talk about the squad and we talk about how much that's improved, and it really is important to have the squad, because at no point after Odegaard went off did I sit there thinking, I wish we had Martin Odegaard now. I'm not saying I wanted him to be injured, and obviously I'd rather he wasn't, but the fact that we have that depth, and the fact that we have that ability now to bring players in who can maintain the same level, that puts us in a real position of strength. And I know we lost at Anfield last time out, and I know there were a lot of negatives you know, off the back of that in terms of the performance a lot of people felt, but overall we're in a great place. You know, it's a third win in 4. Obviously we wouldn't have wanted to have lost already this early in the season, but we've had a really difficult start. We've been to Old Trafford, we've been to Anfield, we've got City to come here next weekend. You know, we've got a Champions League away game in midweek, we've got Newcastle away on the horizon. So it's been a tough start. You know, for now it's about staying in the race, and fine-tuning certain elements of this team, and it feels like we're getting there, it feels like we're improving. So I'm absolutely delighted and thrilled with what we've seen today. Arsenal 3, Nottingham Forest 0. We will talk about the game in a lot more depth on the pod, so make sure you're subscribed. That'll be with you live tomorrow morning. Thank you so much for your continued support, and I'll see you all on the next one. Until then, take care of yourselves.